And in the third Jubilee, the Lord revealed to Noah the end of all generations and the appointed times of his covenant. Covenant is prophetic. Genesis 9:9-11 speaks of God's covenant with Noah, a sign of his faithfulness. Jubilees emphasizes that covenant as part of the prophetic timetable for history, and he set the bow in the cloud as a sign of the covenant between him and every living creature. The rainbow is prophetic. Revelation 4:3 speaks of the rainbow of God's glory. It marks God's faithfulness until the end of the age. And he commanded Noah that he should observe the appointed festivals of the Lord. Festivals are prophetic. Leviticus 23:4 shows feasts as God's prophetic calendar. Jubilees presents them as eternal signs of his covenant purpose. And in the fourth Jubilee, he revealed the history of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and the times of their generations. Generations are prophetic. Genesis 10 shows God's unfolding plan for nations. Jubilees frames this as prophecy in the order of history. And the Lord said to Noah, "Lift up thy eyes and see the generations of men, and how they have departed from my law." Departure is prophetic. 2 Thessalonians 2:3 warns of a falling away before the end. Jubilees emphasizes obedience to covenant law as preparation for the final days. And he revealed to Noah the destiny of his seed and the appointed times of the nations. Destiny is prophetic. Daniel 2:21 shows God setting times and seasons. Jubilees presents history as written in God's prophetic plan. And in the fifth Jubilee, the Lord gave to Abraham a vision of the world to come and the times of the inheritance of his seed. Inheritance is prophetic. Galatians 3:16 reveals Christ as the seed of Abraham, inheriting all nations. Jubilees links this promise to God's prophetic calendar. And he said, "Lift up thine eyes and look from the place where thou standest, northward and southward, and eastward and westward, for all the earth is mine." Promise is prophetic. Psalm 24:1. The earth is the Lord's. Jubilees makes this promise central to understanding covenant history. And the Lord confirmed his covenant with Abraham, that in his seed all nations shall be blessed. Blessing is prophetic. Genesis 12:3 shows God's covenant to bless the nations through Abraham. Jubilees affirms this as a prophetic foundation of history. And he showed Abraham the generations to come, that they should observe the law and the festivals of the Lord. Obedience is prophetic. Deuteronomy 30:10 connects covenant obedience to blessing. Jubilees frames obedience to God's appointed times as prophetic preparation. And the Lord revealed to him the times of affliction and deliverance of his seed. Trials are prophetic. Revelation 12:17 shows persecution before deliverance. Jubilees presents the history of Israel as a prophetic pattern pointing to the end. And he commanded him to write all these things in a book, that all generations might know the appointed times and the covenant of the Lord. Writing is prophetic. Isaiah 30:8. Write it before them in a table. Jubilees declares itself a prophetic record for all generations. And Abraham rejoiced in the Lord, and gave thanks for his covenant and his faithfulness to all generations. Joy is prophetic. Psalm 105:8 affirms God's faithfulness to his covenant. Jubilees presents rejoicing in God's covenant as a prophetic sign of the faithful remnant. And the Lord said, "Behold, the days are coming when my covenant shall be renewed, and all the earth shall know my salvation." Renewal is prophetic. Jeremiah 31:31 speaks of the new covenant. Jubilees reveals this renewal as part of God's prophetic timetable. And the Lord commanded Abraham to teach his children to walk in his statutes and keep his commandments, for this is life eternal. Teaching is prophetic. Deuteronomy 6:6-7. These words shall be in thy heart. Jubilees emphasizes covenant teaching as preparation for the last days. And Abraham built an altar and called upon the name of the Lord, giving thanks for his covenant and his promise. Altar is prophetic. Hebrews 13:15 speaks of offering praise to God. Jubilees presents this as a prophetic act pointing to Christ's ultimate sacrifice.